This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by... I'm standing here with Brad Keyes from where?
Epsom, New Hampshire.
Okay, and you're a New Hampshire liberty activist who is a free stater, moved here in what, '05?
Moved here 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask you what your what's the accomplishment as a liberty activist that you're proudest of since moving here?
Well, from a political standpoint, I've been on our local budget committee for 4 years now. I had one 3-year term, so I'm on my second term. It's been a very interesting experience because it's connected me with the town. Without it, I wouldn't have a very good feel for what's going on in the town and for how the towns around here operate. And that's the reason I got into it initially. I wanted to learn about how the town governments worked and who was involved and where the money went and everything else, and it's been a very good experience.
I was an activist, I guess, a while back, was telling me that she thought that the most effective place to make your voice heard or to get something done in New Hampshire is at the local level.
Yeah.
You think that's true? Or?
I definitely think that's true, and that was one of the things Jason Soren stressed when New Hampshire was chosen and he looked at the political setup here, was the fact that the towns still have a lot of control over what goes on. The towns control the vast majority of the money. And the thing that's most interesting to me is the fact that money doesn't get spent at the town level without the voters actually voting on it. You don't end up with a small group of 2 or 3 people who kind of decide on the side that, oh, we need an extra $50,000 for this, or we need this new building.
Wait, when you say town, you mean literally towns, not
literally,
cities. That will do that, right?
Concord, Manchester, Portsmouth, the bigger cities, I'm not sure how, I'm not as clear on how they operate. The town level, which is the vast majority of New Hampshire, literally everything goes up for a vote. The town budget goes up for a vote every year, and most big spending projects, whether it's a new library, whether it's more money for a bridge to be replaced, a new police cruiser, things like that, all end up on the ballot for up and down votes every year, which makes it very hard for small groups of people to kind of clandestinely spend money, and that alone has, I think, a big reason New Hampshire's been able to keep their spending, at least locally, on a reasonable level.
More specifically, beyond getting in office and holding it, what would you say is your favorite accomplishment in terms of maybe something you've been able to cut out of the budget or some anti-liberty thing you've been able to kill?
I don't know if I'd claim a whole lot of accomplishments yet on my part. I'm happy to have helped out a little bit with Joel's campaign and
Joel Winters, the
Winters.
representative from Manchester.
Yeah, we've contributed what we can to his campaign. Yeah. We've tried to help out the other candidates that are running on the state level.
He's a free stater.
He's a free stater.
He ran as a Democrat.
Yes, he ran as a Democrat.
Libertarian ideology.
Also helped out a little bit with Carol McGuire, who's another free stater, lives in Epsom with her husband Dan. She's a state rep now too. So they're slow, small steps that have been made that are at least some things that are going in the right direction. I'm kind of at the point now on the town level and even at the state level where I think I can at least understand what's going on and make some intelligent decisions and discuss it intelligently. Before the first few years, I kind of sat back and tried to take it in and understand what was going on.
Yeah.
And now I think I've got enough background to kind of start speaking out a little bit more and making some statements and also getting a feel for what drives people in the state, what are most of the voters in our town, what do they care about, what are the hot button issues, finding out some of those details.
All right. Well, Bradley, as always, thanks for moving and thanks for your activism.
It's great. I hope more people join us.
All right. Take care out there.
Thanks.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance at nhliberty.org. You cannot do this at the State House in Concord without hitting one of these guys. They're everywhere fighting for your freedom. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance at nhliberty.org. You should join them so you can join the fight for liberty. And I should say, don't join them, join us, because I am a member. Ugly, pretty.